Hello, I'm Miss Tell It Like It Is. I hope everybody's doing good out there. I'm doing wonderful. I'm laying here in the privacy of my room, and I was just reflecting. Sometimes it's good to reflect on your life, because when you reflect on things, you begin to realize a lot of things that you wouldn't realize if you didn't reflect. And that's the good thing about reflecting. Because when you reflect, you can realize things that you weren't aware of. And then you can come to some kind of decision on how you want to change things in your life. Or if you want to change things in your life. And as Miss Teller Like It Is, that's where I'm at in my life. I decided to do some reflecting. And I went way back. I'm 51 now, and I don't feel 51, you all. And I don't look 51. I mean, I'm not bragging, but I'm not 51. I mean, not in my spirit, not in my soul, not in my mind. And not that 51 is old. 51 is young. I mean, when I was in my 20s or 30s, I probably would have looked at 51 as like, ooh, that's so old. But now, since I'm 51, I just realized 51 is just a number. It's all on about how you feel on the inside about yourself. That's all that matters. And I feel good about myself. I feel really good. And the reason why I feel good is because of reflecting in my life from where I was to where I am now. I will admit there's some things about myself that I would like to change. But I know that only time can bring about that change. And that change is going to have to come with healing, being healed. Because sometimes we can go through such pain in life and such disappointment and such heartache that it really scars us, like emotionally, down to our souls sometimes. And when you are scarred, when you are damaged to the point where you just know that you have changed so much, and you want to feel, you want to love, you want to trust, but then you can't because you don't even feel like yourself anymore. That's where Miss Tell It Like It Is. That's where I'm at in life. Because I went through so many things, and through going through those things, I became very scarred. And it doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. It just means that I'm scarred. From the age of 19 till about, I want to say, 40 something, all I ever wanted was someone to love. And someone to not just love, but someone to love me for me. I wasn't extravagant, or I wasn't um money hungry or a gold digger. All I wanted was to be loved. And I had this dream, like I said, from 19 to 40 something. And every relationship I got in, I got disappointed, let down, lied to, deceived, to the point it chipped at me. Each relationship that I got in chipped at me more and more and more until it felt like, well, until it feels like now, like I'm just numb. I'm numb. It's like there's a part of me that doesn't even want to put any effort into any relationship anymore. Not even think about a relationship. Not even entertain the notion or the thought of even having one. And when I reflect back to who I was to who I am now, I don't recognize myself, you all. I don't recognize who I've become. And I know y'all say, why is she admitting this personal stuff on social media? Well, we're all human and we all go through things. And so, by me talking about this, this is reflection and recognition and also healing, also making others aware that may be going through the same thing that I'm going through, that, hey, it's okay. It's okay to admit that you've been extremely damaged. It's okay to admit that you have to heal. And a part of realizing that you have to heal is when you reflect back on where you came from to who you are now. I know I told you I'm proud of where I've come from. And what I mean by that, in a sense, that I am proud that I have recognized that I don't need a man in my life to be happy. See, because for all those years that I was really searching and really wanting someone to love me for me, I drew all the wrong men to me. I realize now I was so broken because I didn't love myself. And that's why I wanted these men to come in and love me for me. But what I failed to realize, that first I had to learn to love myself. So I am happy that I got to that point where I have learned how to love myself, and that I do not feel like I have to have a man to be happy. I do not feel dependent on any man to be happy. I realize now that all I needed to do was to learn to be happy with me and to love me. So I'm so happy for that part. I'm so happy. And sad to say, it took for me to go through so much pain and heartache and disappointment and deception to get to this point where I'm not dependent upon men to be happy, but now I'm dependent upon myself because I realize that love starts within oneself. And then when you can love yourself, then what you desired can come along and love you. But now the irony is, you all, now that I've learned to love myself, I'm broken. I'm broken and I need to heal. The biggest or the bigger irony is that when I could trust, when I could love, when I had my guards down, the irony is I drew men to me that had all bad intentions. And they were out to destroy me, like in every way. Destroy my happiness, destroy my smile, destroy my free spirit, positivity. They were out to destroy me in every way. And that irony is when I really wanted someone, no one really wanted me. But now that I have come to the point where I'm broken or I'm so numb now. Now everybody wants me. Now all these good men or all these potentially good men are drawn to me. And they're saying things that I wanted to hear or desired to hear from men years ago, but I couldn't get that out of them, or they just refused to treat me right or refuse to love me. So now the irony is that when you really want something, you draw all the wrong things to you. And then when you don't want no one, now everybody is falling out the woodwork like roaches. And the thing is, as I'm reflecting, even though, I'm not going to lie, for me, it feels good to be disconnected. Even though I know my disconnection is because I'm wounded and I need to heal, it feels good because now I'm no longer worried about what a man is doing, who he's doing it with. I'm no longer worried about anyone cheating on me or deception or being mentally abused or dealing with any kind of narcissist. It's like, I'm free. It's like a solo. I don't have to work anything out with anybody because I'm not in a relationship. And it feels so good to be disconnected, you all. But then, I was talking to a family member one day and they said, You only feel like that now because you have been deeply scarred. But when you heal, you're going to want someone to share your life with. This is what this family member told me. You're going to want someone to share your life with. You just feel like that for now. And even though, I'm not going to lie to you, I don't feel it right now. I don't feel that. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, what if my family member was right? When I heal, what if I do go back to that person that really wants someone to spend my life with? Will I allow this pain and these deep wounds, will I allow it to drive every potential good man away from me? To one day I end up being way much older by myself. Don't get me wrong, you all. The fear of being by myself it's not even a fear, okay? Because I don't really have that fear. I don't get lonely. I don't get bored. I have really learned how to have a relationship with me. I mean, I like the peace. Drama free. I don't have to work out anything with anybody. I don't have to answer to any man. I'm so independent and self-sufficient with myself, and I'm so in love with me. I realized that for many years I wasted so much time with guys that really didn't mean me any good. And I realized how much further I could be now in life if I had just realized back then what I realize now. I could be so much further. I realized how I entertained men that just sucked up my time to find, to explore, and to love myself. Time, they were time vampires, leeches, sucking my positive energy because so many of them were negative and unhappy and broken with themselves. I wanted something from broken men, and they couldn't give me what I wanted. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be loved for me. That's all I wanted. And they couldn't give that to me. Why? Because they didn't even love themselves. They were broken. And I didn't realize that. But in the process, I became wounded, deeply wounded. And I'm wounded now. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm so wounded. But in the process of being wounded, I have found myself. It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it weird how sometimes you can be wounded so bad, but in the process you can find yourself? You can become happy with yourself. Whereas I used to have fear of being alone, I don't have that fear anymore. And that's why, it's so important to reflect, you all. Reflect. Reflection is so important because when you reflect, you can tell a lot of things about yourself that you would never have realized if you didn't reflect. The only way I'm going to ever have a man again in my life or even have a relationship is when I heal. Other than that, I'm just not feeling it. I'm at this point where it's just all about me. I don't want nobody sucking my time up. I don't want nobody sucking my positive energy up. I have no time for negativity. I have been through the fire and back with drama kings. I mean, I could write a book about my life. And if I was to write a book and really tell the truth, you all would be shocked. Your mouths would drop. Because you would be like, Miss Tell It Like It Is. Wow, you have such a story to tell. But anyway, do some self-reflection, you all, in your life. You just self-reflect because it's good. It's good because it will help you to realize from where you were to where you are now. It will help you to realize the things that you are happy with about yourself, but also some things that you may want to change about you. Right now, I'm happy with myself. I am. Am I happy that I'm broken in the sense that I'm wounded or I have to heal? No, I'm not. But I call that life. Because sometimes you have to go through the fire in life. You have to be broken in order to find yourself. And that's where I'm at. See, sometimes I ask myself, I say, why? Why was I allowed to go through such heartache and such cruelty in my life? And I realized through reflection, I was allowed to go through that so I could be broken and I could learn from my repetitive getting in and out of abusive relationships so I could learn and I could lose myself just to find myself and to realize the beauty in me and to learn how to be satisfied with me, to learn how to love myself, to learn how to develop things about me that I never developed about me, to learn how to put me first for once instead of putting men and others before me, to learn how to just be satisfied with me. And that's where you need to be in life. For all you who think that you just need somebody in your life to be happy. Don't get me wrong. God didn't make none of us an island by ourselves. But a lot of times, in order for you to be happy with someone else, you first have to be happy with yourself. And that's why it's so good to self-reflect on you, to ask yourself if you're in that stage where you're afraid to be alone, or you feel like I gotta have somebody, I can't be happy without someone. Ask yourself, why do you feel like that? Ask yourself, are you happy with you? Ask yourself, have you become to the point where you are happy with you and you know that no one else defines your happiness? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself, is it you want to be with someone else because you're afraid of being alone? Because a lot of times when people are afraid of being alone, they will just settle with anything. And I think a lot of things that I went through in my life, a lot of men I chose, it was because I was afraid of being alone. I didn't love myself. So I just settled with anything. And when you settle for anything, then yes, you will end up getting with people that abuse you in many ways. But the beauty is that these same people, through all the tragedy that they put you through, you can learn from it and never to keep repeating getting into these toxic relationships. And you could come out of it all. Learning to give that love that you gave to all these toxic people, give that same love to yourself. I have said what I'm going to say today. I am Miss Teller like it is. Please reflect in your life, and please know that anything and everything you've ever gone through, there is a lesson to be learned. And when you learn that lesson, then you can be happy within yourself and you can be complete. And then in the Creator's timing, then the Creator will bring someone that is positive, that is on your same level, and that you all can be complete and one together. And that would be your true soulmate, and that is a whole nother video. I'm going to say good night to anyone and everyone that has watched this video. Have a great night. Toodaloo.